Madam, Mr. Premchandran's objection is predominantly born out of the language of Article 110, and particularly one word in Article 110, subclause 1, which reads, "For the purposes of this chapter, a bill shall be deemed to be a money bill if it contains only provisions dealing with all or any of the following matters." So the critical word, according to Mr. Premchandran, is the word only. And that is how Mr. Saugat Rai supports him, that it's only the taxation proposals and nothing else which is incidental really can find a place as far as the money bill is concerned. Now, I skipped the clauses A to F and take the Honourable Speaker and this Honourable House to clause G, which says any matter incidental to any of the matters referred to in subclauses A to F. Now, with regard to this word only, right from the inception of this House, as to what is the width that this word only permits has been a subject matter of debate. And Mr. Mavlankar, in his first ruling on this subject, and I read his ruling of 1952, said, "Prima facie it appears to be that the word in Article 110, imposition, abolition, remission, alteration, regulation of any tax, are sufficiently wide to make the consolidated bill a money bill. A question may arise as to what is the exact significance or the scope of the word only, and whether and how far that word goes to modify or control the wide and general words imposition, abolition and remission, etc. I think prima facie the word only is not restrictive of the scope of the general terms. If a bill substantially deals with imposition, abolition of a tax, then the mere fact of inclusion of a bill of any other provision which may be necessary for administration of that tax, or I may say necessary for the achievement of that objective of a particular bill or of the bill. Therefore, if the substantial portion of the bill aims at the imposition, abolition of any tax, then other provisions will be incidental and their inclusion cannot be said to be take away from the category of a money bill. Unless one construes the word only in this way, it may lead to making Article 110 a nullity. No tax can be imposed without making a provision for assessment, collection, administration, reference to courts or tribunals. Yes. Now this word tribunals is very important, etc. One can visualize only one section in a bill, imposition of a tax, and that may be 50 other sections which may deal with the scope, method and manner of imposition of that tax. Therefore, the thrust of this is that you cannot have a bill which says the government shall spend 100,000 rupees. How that is to be spent, the incidental provisions will have to be contained. You can't have an act which says there will be a 5% tax. Then how that 5% tax is to be achieved, what are the deductions to be allowed, who is the assessing officer, how are they to be appointed, what is the appeal provision, how much deposits are to be made. These are all incidental provisions, and the fact that these incidental provisions to the principal provision exist do not render a bill to be a non-money bill. And that is what Mr. Mavlankar said. Therefore, the word only has to be read in the context of the spirit of Article 110. Now look at this. It's a much ado about nothing that you say 40 laws are being amended. Now what is the amendment? Today you have in every law a tribunal being created. The tribunal says that who will be the tribunal? It will be headed by a judge, it will have members. It will be a retired judge. What will be the age? Every law has a different criteria. every law different perquisites. In some cases they say it will be the last drawn salary minus pension. In some cases they say it will be a lump sum will be given and no other perquisites will be given. What will be the retirement age? Differing in every law. Now there are some laws, madam, in which tribunals have been created, which tribunals have such inadequate work that a tribunal may sit only for half an hour or 1 hour. And then you have to make a regular provision for salary and all the perquisites. So all that is being done, 40 may sound very large, is that there is only one amendment which says there will be uniformity in service conditions and the pay structure of all those retired judges who are being appointed in all these tribunals. And the government money, therefore, is being spent in this manner, and where the work is less, जहां काम कम है, वहां जो 2 या 3 ट्राइब्यूनल्स अलग-अलग लोग बनते हैं, उनके एक ही व्यक्ति उन तीनों ट्राइब्यूनल्स का काम करेगा. That's all that is being done. So that directly relates to governmental expenditure. कि सरकारी खर्चा कम करने के लिए आप 2 ट्राइब्यूनल्स का काम एक आदमी को दे दोगे, हर ट्राइब्यूनल के सर्विस कंडीशंस एक जैसे कर दोगे. आज क्या परिस्थिति है कि किसी को घर मिलता है, किसी को नहीं मिलता, इसलिए कहीं लोग रिटायर्ड जजेस आना चाहते हैं, कहीं नहीं आना चाहते. इसलिए सभी कानूनों में एक प्रावधान कर दिया कि ये यूनिफॉर्मिटी होगी और इसका जहां जहां संभव है उन दोनों को इकट्ठा कर देना. नाउ यू कम टू द अदर बिल, और ये बजट के अंदर अनाउंस किया. नाउ द ऑनरेबल मेंबर सेज, हाउ इज इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स a money bill? Now, electoral bonds has been announced as a scheme for cleansing political money under the Income Tax Act. How has it been done? The reality, as we all know, a lot of electoral funding to political parties across the spectrum comes by way of undisclosed money. And this is the issue which has been in public domain. And therefore, in the budget announcement, we came out with a proposal that there will be an income tax incentive involved in 4 different ways. One, that monies are paid by check. The maximum cash donation, which earlier was allowed up to 20,000 rupees, will now be allowed up to 2,000 as the Election Commission had recommended. Thirdly, if there is mass collections through the digital media. And fourthly, that there will be electoral bonds issued in an accordance with a scheme under the Income Tax Act. These are all amendments under the Income Tax Act, and the specific provision of the Income Tax Act which deals with this is Section 13 capital A. And in the Finance Bill, this is Clause 11 of the Finance Bill itself. Now, for this purpose, how are the electoral bonds to be issued? अब electoral bonds कोई private आदमी तो issue नहीं करेगा. The incidental provision is that the RBI will authorize a particular bank to issue the electoral bonds. So it is an offshoot incidental to that amendment. और जो electoral bonds होंगे वो चेक से खरीदेगा डोनर, उतना उसको इनकम टैक्स में छूट मिलेगा, और पार्टी जो रिसीव करेगी उस इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स को, उसको प्री डिक्लेयर्ड अकाउंट देना पड़ेगा अपना, उसको उसके ऊपर टैक्स नहीं लगेगा. तो इस प्रोविजन के लिए आरबीआई एक्ट में एक लाइन की अमेंडमेंट है दैट आरबीआई में ऑथराइज नोटिफाई अ पर्टिकुलर बैंक. सो दैट्स एन इंसिडेंटल अनाउंसमेंट. इन रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल्स एक्ट, इट्स इंपैक्ट इज अंडर सेक्शन 29C कि रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल्स एक्ट में यह है कि कोई भी 20,000 से ज्यादा का डिस्क्लोजर डोनेशन आएगा तो वो डिस्क्लोजर होगा. तो रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल्स एक्ट में भी एक कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग अमेंडमेंट होगा कि इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड के संबंध में डिस्क्लोजर नहीं होगा. So these are all incidental announcements to that entire scheme which has been made under the Income Tax Act itself. Then if you see Indian Post Office Act, क्या अमेंडमेंट है? provided the notification will set out the rates chargeable. जो post offices के rates होंगे, that is again government revenue. Why should it not be in a money bill? Oil Industry Development Act. Oil Industry Development Act means money incurred by any public sector undertaking and the oil and gas companies, which is again on behalf of the central government. तो central government का जो खर्चा होगा, अगर वो money bill में नहीं आ सकता तो money bill में फिर क्या आएगा? उसी प्रकार से रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट सेस, एक सेस है जो वापस लिया है, अब वो कहते हैं सेस को आपने रिपील किया, ये मनी बिल क्यों है? अब सेस रिपील तो मनी बिल के माध्यम से ही होगा। और उसके बाद आगे जाकर हम देखते हैं तो जो आईडीआरए, पीएफडीआरए जो रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज हैं, अब रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज ऑल रेगुलेट द मैनर इन विच एंड वॉट एवर पेनल्टीज दे इम्पोज, उनका खर्चा सरकार का होता है, पेनल्टीज जो इम्पोज करती हैं वो सरकार के ऊपर आती हैं, and that is all something to do with government revenue itself. So my respectful submission is, it squarely comes in the language of Article 110.
Thank you.
सच्चाई कड़वी होती है और कड़वी सच्चाई लोग स्वीकार करने को तैयार नहीं, क्योंकि लोग उस बीमारी से स्वयं त्रस्त हो चुके हैं जो बीमारी इन्होंने पूरे देश को दी है, और इसीलिए ये लोग उस सच्चाई को स्वीकार नहीं कर सकते। कश्मीरी पंडितों के निष्कासन पर और कश्मीर पे हुए अत्याचार पर ये लोग मौन थे। मैं 2011-12 में असम के अंदर देख रहा था,